Hi to everybody, my name is Deanna Cook. I'm from Enderby, BC, and we are the only pilot project in BC operating this program right now. I've been asked to give kind of an overview as the community coordinator of what I think of the program that we operate. This is our 5th year into the program. The first year that we started this program, we heard about it, and what made us want to become involved in the program is the lack of mental health services for children who have suicidal or mental health issues in our community. When we got this project started and Dr. Lawrence Kermeyer was talking to different communities about wanting to be community partners with us, our project lead researcher for our team, Dr. Raven Sinclair, had been talking with Lawrence, and she approached us and asked us if we would consider being one of the communities involved in this program. And knowing the lack of mental health services available, one of the things that my role was to try and find, some funding. And I know that in BC, you don't get many if you go to the ministry and say, we have a lot of children committing suicide. They just don't respond to that. But if you come to them with an academic paper and say, here's the proof, here's the research, then you're more likely to get funded. So that was the big factor for us becoming involved in this program, because it is research-based. And all of the participants who go into this program, they do a pre-questionnaire and a post-questionnaire, and then all of the research is tabulated, and Melissa will tell you a bit more about that. So that was our big push to become involved in this program. So my role is the community coordinator. So my work in the community is to work with our facilitators. So in our project, we have our project lead, Dr. Raven Sinclair. So she helps analyze the data and helps with that part of it. We have a facilitator, Don Bennett, and he is the main teacher of the program. And then we have a co-facilitator, Tracy Pata, and she works with the youth in the program. And then we have an elder facilitator, Juliana Alexander, and she helps with the cultural pieces. So the first year that we started the program, we didn't actually deliver the program, we worked on the curriculum. We wanted to make it culturally relevant to our community. And you take a lot of non-native themes and teachings about suicide prevention and strengthening families and communicating. So it was quite a process to go through all of the material with our elders. But it was a good one, because it actually brought out a lot of talk about, it's something nobody's ever talked about in our community. Like, how did you used to handle suicide prevention, 50 years ago? I mean, those kind of ideals were things that weren't even talked about. So it brought out a lot of new information for us. And our grandmothers that worked on they went through 14 sessions, like word for word with us, and suggested where they could suggest, words that we could incorporate or themes that we could incorporate with our youth. They even changed the name of our project locally. It's now called Ma7 Yagtwilc, which means to get strong. So that's the theme of our program in our community, is to get strong. It was hard to kind of get the parents and community to buy into the project at first. I mean, if you know any community, we always have these short little Band-Aid programs that come in for 4 to 6 weeks, and then they're gone. And people just get tired of sometimes participating in those kind of programs. So it was hard to get, the first year that we did it, it was hard to get the buy-in from the community to be part of this. And we did have some people drop out, but the people that did stay, they've learned a lot, and it actually changed the fabric of our community. We have an opening feast where we welcome everybody and we talk a bit about the program. And then we do 14 sessions of curriculum that's, there's cultural components through the whole 14 sessions. And what we found is that parents and kids are really bonding during that time. I mean, after the 14 sessions, we came to the end of the 14 sessions, and parents and youth were really sad that it was actually over. They're like, it's over? Like, what are we going to do now? Like, we have nothing to do now. It was the parents in the community who helped make our other 3 years successful, because they talked to other people in the community and said, oh, this is a great program for your kids. And so this is our last year that we're doing it, and we're hoping that funding will continue. So we're starting our opening feast this October 15th. And we have a lot of repeat customers, is what we're finding. Parents and their kids who attended the program last year, they want their kids to be involved again. And that's hard because for research purposes, you want to have new kids, new parents, involved. So it's hard to say no, no, you can't participate again, when it's such a great program. But I think one of the most difficult things that we had was that this is intended to be a suicide intervention program, but we don't actually call it a suicide intervention program, although that is the intended result. But I think it was last year in our community we had a rash of young adults committing suicide in our community, and parents were like, why isn't there a program in the community that's addressing this? Where's the programs? So we talked about it with our team, and we decided to tell everybody, this is actually a suicide intervention program. We don't label it as such, but it is intended to do that. I mean, the main goal of this program is to strengthen families and to teach youth how to communicate with their parents, to teach parents how to communicate with their youth, so that they're building strong families, so that, suicide is not an option down the road, that you're building strong people and strong families. In our program, one of the most successful things that we've done is to honor our participants with Pendleton blankets. So when we do our closing ceremony, in our community, that is the highest honor. And usually you have to do something pretty extraordinary to receive a Pendleton blanket, like graduate from university, or you built a big building, or you might be an elder and it's your turn to receive a Pendleton blanket. But what we felt was that the work that the families and the youth were doing together was so important that it equaled that level of honor, because the families were literally changed. They went into the program being a certain way, and through the curriculum that made them think about their families, they came out of the program being different people and different families. So when we have our closing ceremony, our chief comes and he honors the participants with an honor song, and we blanket the participants, and you can really see the pride, the pride. There might be a parent who may have just been, on low income all of their lives, and maybe not have had a chance to do something extraordinary like graduate from university. But the pride on their face when they receive a Pendleton blanket, and the pride on their kids' faces when they receive a Pendleton blanket. We have a photo up there on the poster of one of our families, and they were pretty proud to receive the Pendleton blanket. So it's all about, teaching our families and our kids to be strong together. It's really had a ripple effect into our community. I think some of the things that we've seen from past participants is their families have become much stronger. They may not be in the program anymore, but you see a lot of parents have now stopped using alcohol. You see them taking their kids to the hockey arena on the weekends, and they're really family focused. There's a big pride in our culture that's come back. I think that's probably one of the biggest benefits. A lot of people didn't have an idea about hunting or fishing or berry picking, but this program has spurred a lot of interest in that. So this past summer, I can't even count how many families were like Facebooking about, they went out berry picking, and, they're going out salmon fishing, and they're drying fish, and they're going out hunting, and, so I think this has had a great ripple effect into our community. It's definitely strengthened our community. And the other thing is that it's helped our families to bond and support each other. So, you have parents who may have done the program before, one family's having a hard time. Before they might have just turned a blind eye to that. But now, people are like, oh, you need some food, and they're bringing food over to help a different family, or you want some deer meat, and they're bringing food over there. So I think this program has done super amazing things for our community. We would definitely want to do this program again if the opportunity arises. And I think the biggest thing, I think the parenting skills have definitely come up. we all know the legacy of residential school and the 60s scoop, and how actually I just had this conversation with my mother the other day. She's saying, I wish I would have done things differently when you guys were growing up. But we were talking about it, and we were saying, Mom, with every generation that comes, we're getting stronger. The parenting is becoming better, the circle's getting stronger. In this program, parents did talk about that, about how they felt stronger as a parent. It really has been an amazing thing for our community. And I just want to share a few comments with you before I close. Some of our participants, we did questionnaires with the parents and the youth in our programs. So we asked parents, what did you like best about the program? So one parent said, I really liked the parent discussion circle. I liked when I talked about the problems that have come up in my daily life and people offer advice. Another parent said, learning about our language and culture, listening to the youth with their feedback. Another parent said, I liked how I got to hear other persons with situations similar to mine. It made me know that I was not the only one with the same problem. So that was really some pretty nice feedback. Here's a really nice parent comment. Somebody said, I found that with some of the questions I had to answer were hard because it made me look at how I'm raising my children. So I think that's really, really a big statement for what's made the change. People had to look at how they were raising their children and what they were doing. And now you see these kids doing all these fantastic things, with their families. So it's been a great thing. Some of the youth, we asked them, what did you like best about the program? And the food was a big one. When you said, I liked the food and the story, it wasn't a real story. It was a lot of paragraphs about respect, and it's good for it to be that long, I guess. Yeah. Another youth said, I loved the food and the talking circles and the story. Another one said, I was happy talking native and it was fun. And another one said, eating and laughing, hanging out with my friends, and doing the door prizes. So this past summer we did an interesting thing. We had a big community play in our community, and it was called Tweetamus. And Tweetamus was about our old Splatsin, and it was a story about how he or she gets strong. So we used our old stories of creation and talked about, legends of, a grizzly and a coyote fighting to make it light and dark. And then we showed what happened in the residential 60s scoop. We called that the shaking, where kids were taking away. And then in the end, we showed how you get strong, how you get your personal power back. So we videotaped that, and that will become part of our curriculum this fall with our program. So the families will watch that, and it was quite an amazing thing, like the whole project. We had 53 actors, mainly from our community, and we had a handful of kids that were in our project last year that were main actors in the story. And they were so amazing, like they just blossomed. Like, they did the youth program with us last year and then got involved with our summer play this year. And it was just amazing. We had kids who were so shy that they wouldn't ever stand up in front of anybody and talk. And they were main actors in our play this summer. And they were delivering dialogue. We were sold out for 5 nights delivering this play. So I think the benefit to the kids, if this project can go all over Canada, it would be amazing, because I think the benefits to the community are huge, and the benefits to the youth and to the social fabric of our communities and our language and culture. It's just, you can't even analyze all of that in research data, I think. But just from a community perspective, we really enjoy being part of this. So thank you.